I'm going to talk to you about the Career Wise Choice Process project that we are going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So there are 5 components to the Wise Choice Process project. You have to take an interest profiler, you have to save and upload those results, you complete the Wise Choice Process worksheet, you complete Noodle Tools, which is citing the information from your project, and then you are going to write a research paper in the end. So there are 5 components of this project, and each one is graded separately. It's given a point value, and in the end, all of those pieces equal 100. So if you miss any portion of the project, any of those pieces, then you will automatically have points deducted from the end total value. So for instance, the Wise Choice Process worksheet is 15 points. If you don't complete that, you are already negative 15 points for your project, so 100 would be impossible because you're missing 15 points. So the very first thing you're going to do is the Wise Choice Process module, and I have that pulled up on my screen here. You'll click on the Wise Choice Process module and it'll open up just like this. You're going to need to go through the steps, step 1, 2, and 3. So the first step is to take an interest profiler, and it's called nextmove.org. And so this is you're going to answer a couple of questions, and this is going to give you job suggestions based on your skills, the way you work, things you like to do, all of those similar things. Then it's going to give you a list of occupations that you're going to look through, and you're going to select 3 of those occupations to do this research over. So the first thing you do is, it says in step 1, you need to take the ONET interest profiler. This is a live link, so you click on it and it's going to open up the assessment right here. You're going to need to take this from start to finish, but once you get your results, you're going to either need to print them, save them on your computer, or write them down. Because if you don't get a chance to finish this right now, you're going to have to come back to it, and it does not save your work. So once you click start, it's going to give you a couple of questions. You're going to strongly dislike them, like them, etc. The instructions are here. Once you begin, you need to finish completely, so you need to take the assessment from start to end, and then it's going to give you results once you finish. Now, if you only have time to take the assessment, it's going to take you about 15-20 minutes to take the assessment. If you only have time to take the assessment, that's fine. Don't stop the assessment midway through. If you take the assessment, once you get to your results page, you can print the results or you can write them down, and then you can come back to this screen and enter your scores. So let's say that I've already taken this interest profiler and I need to come back into it to complete my project. I'm going to click enter scores here, and I'm just going to put the scores that I got the last time I took it and click next. Then it's going to give me the same page that it gave me last time in results. You can only get this if you've already taken the profiler. I'm going to click next, and then it's going to show you job zones. You need to open up job zones 3 and 4 to find your career. So you'll go into job zone 3 first, and you will look at all the careers it gives you. So notice it's given me a list of careers. You need to browse through all these careers, and you're going to need to pick 3. You don't have to pick 3 from this job zone. You can pick 1 from this job zone, you can pick none from this job zone. But you need to go ahead and look through all the careers. Maybe there's one that you like, but that's not exactly what you want to do. If you click on it, it will, down here where it says explore more, it will give you careers that are similar to those, and the one that you're actually thinking of might be in that list. Now, once you've gone through job zone 3, you also need to go to job zone 4 to look for careers, because one of the careers you want might be in that job zone. So once you've gone through job zone 3, you'll go into job zone 4 here, and you'll peruse through these careers as well. And you want to make sure you look through all of them, and remember, click on one and see the suggested careers that may be similar to that. So in job zones 3 and 4, you need to find the 3 careers that you're going to research. You need to make sure that you're actually picking careers that you would want to do or you're interested in. Now, let's say you're here at El Centro to be a nurse, and nursing does not come up in job zones 3 or 4 for you. What you're going to need to do is you can still pick nurse as a job option, but you're going to need to pick the other 2 from job zones 3 or 4, either or. But you can do the occupation that you want to do that may not be here. Say you want to be an astronaut does not come up in this list. You can still choose astronaut as one of your 3, but the other 2 need to come from here in either job zone 3 or 4. Once you have picked your 3 careers, say I'm just going to pick these 3 that are here, an engineer, a forester, and a manufacturing engineer. Once you've got your 3 careers, remember one of them can be a career of your choice if you can't find it here, but at least 2 have to come from here. Once you have your 3 careers, you'll be back in the Wise Choice module, and you will begin filling out the Wise Choice process worksheet. So all of these are hyperlinks. It'll take you directly to the worksheet that you need to fill out. Once you open the worksheet here, this is a Google Doc, so you cannot type in it. What you will need to do is download it into a Word document. You'll do that by going to File, and you can download as, and you can download it into a Word document or all these other documents, but download it as a Word doc because it's going to work the best on everybody's computer. Once you download it, it might open automatically for you. It might ask if you want to open it, but it's going to open as a Word document. Then you're going to complete the Wise Choice Process worksheet. Remember, you're completing this worksheet with the 3 careers that you got from the nextmove.org, the O-Net Interest Profiler. Remember, you had to choose 2 from there, and if you had 1 that you wanted to research but you didn't find on there, that's acceptable too. But you're going to have a total of 3. 2 must be from O-Net. Now, don't worry if I'm moving fast or you're not quite understanding everything, because everything I'm saying is also written here in the directions. Once you've chosen your 3 careers, you're going to type them in here. Remember, I said something about a forester that I was going to do, and an engineer. Oops, I've spelled these wrong. So I'm going to type the careers that I want to do in here, and then I'm going to have my 3rd choice here. Perhaps I didn't find it in there, and I'm going to put that here. Maybe you find all 3 in job zones 3 and 4, and that's completely fine too. But the point is, you want to have careers on here that you would actually do, that you would consider pursuing. And so if something's not in the job zone 3 or 4 on the O-Net profiler, then you need to go ahead and put that on here, especially if you're already going to school to pursue that. So then you have 3 careers here. You need to go ahead and proceed to answer all of these questions for each of the careers. Notice there's a grid here. So if I'm going to talk about the forester career, I'm going to answer all these questions for that career. You find the information to answer these questions, like it says duties. What are the tasks associated with this job? What are the degrees and certifications and credentials required for this job? You can find all of that information back here in O-Net. So that's why it's so important to keep your score, so that you can pull up the same job zones and the same job list that you had to begin with. So I'm going to click on the job, and then all of the information that's in that worksheet that it's asking me is here. So remember, it asked me what kind of tasks does a person that does this job? Well, here's skills, right? So these are all the skills that someone in that job would need. Here's the knowledge, so the credentials and the education. It also talks about other things they do on the job, what they do. All of this information goes into your Wise Choice Process worksheet, which is right here. So there's no question here that will be asked of you that's not available in the O-Net profiler, the job list that it gives you. All of that goes here. These are personal questions that only you can answer. So if you chose to be a nurse, what would be some family obligations? Notice these questions have description under them, so make sure you're reading the entire question so that you can answer it correctly in the box. Finally, just like the Wise Choice process, it's going to ask you to pick a career. So out of the three, which one are you going to work with? Which one are you going to decide to do your research on? Which one are you going to commit to pursuing in college? And that's where you fill that out right here. I will commit to. Then it asks you, based on your O-Net profiler, why does this career work for you? How does it fit? So remember, our O-Net profiler gave us interest. So it tells us here that I'm a 9 in realistic, a 6 in investigative, so I need to figure out what realistic means. So if I click on here, it tells me about that. It says people with realistic interests like to work, they're practical, they like to work with hands-on type things. So if I scored the highest in that, which it says I did, I had a 9, then I'm going to talk about here how the fact that I'm a realistic learner or other things, how that fits with the career that I chose. So if I chose the forester, well, that's someone who, who works in a forest, does wildlife things, and that really aligns with that realistic component. So that's what you're going to talk about here when it says the criteria that matches. It's asking you for the knowledge, the basic skills, the personality. How does what you plan to do, how does that fit with what it says about that career? Make sure you read these questions very carefully because they describe them and they have lots of instructions next to them, so it should be pretty easy to answer them and not get lost. Then it's asking you, how are you going to evaluate your plan? So you need to go in eConnect and find your degree plan that you currently are on, and you're going to enter that here. Does your degree plan match up with the career that you chose? You're going to answer that here. How are you currently preparing yourself, completing assignments on time? Finally, it's going to ask you to make a DAPS plan toward your career. So it wants you to have 6 things that will help you move toward your goal of pursuing that career. And so it says 3 need to be short-term and 3 need to be long-term. So make sure that you have 3 long-term and 3 short-term goals that will move you toward the career that you chose. That is the first step in our career wise choice process. So you will take the O-Net profiler, fill out the wise choice process worksheet, then you will upload your wise choice process worksheet here. So once you have completed this sheet, you'll save it to your computer, save it as your name, whatever, and then upload it here. Turn in, upload your wise choice process worksheet, and then you are done with this portion of the project. You'll need to make sure that once you get your results from O-Net, that you either save that sheet or write those 6 results down for each of those categories. That's very important, otherwise you won't be able to get back in there. Remember, if you have any questions, in all of these numerous directions here are all of the things that I just said. They're all here. I just gave you a short version and kind of showed you how things would look. So if you have any questions, make sure you go into the step 1, the module, and read everything very, very carefully, and make sure you upload your wise choice process once you filled it out, and also make sure that you are completing the wise choice process completely in the worksheet. Don't leave it skimpy, and make sure you fill everything out. If you have any more questions, you can email me or you can read the directions here.